Hi everyone, welcome back to Lavender Cottage. My name is Anna and this is going to be my April Crafty Moments vlog, which is where I put together little bits and pieces of crafting and making that I've been doing throughout the month and put it into a vlog. I have, I think, some knitting, crochet, embroidery, a little bit of embroidery. I went to a quilting convention and an art exhibition as well. It's actually the end of April when I'm recording this little intro, and all of the clips for this month have been recorded in Melbourne or Naarm. So I would like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation as the traditional custodians of the land on where these videos were recorded, and extend my respect to their elders past, present and emerging, as well as any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people who watch this video. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. Hi everyone, I have been accepted into a test knit for the Sydney socks. It's a test knit that Kath, who's the Mindful Melbourne maker, is running, and so I have picked out my yarn and I'm just going to cake it up. For these patterns that Kath does, I try, if possible, to pick a yarn that's dyed in the city that the socks are named after, and I didn't actually have anything that was a dye that's from Sydney specifically, but I believe Kaz, who's Hodgepodge Skeins, is from the Blue Mountains, which someone told me is only about 45 minutes away from Sydney, so I think that's as close as I can get. So these two are both from Hodgepodge Skeins. So this colorway is called Lifesaver. So I'll just show you all the different colors, and then this mini is also from her and it's called Pink Funk. So I'm going to use this for my cuff and possibly, I think, maybe just the toe, and because the cuff is a picot edge, so I think that means it's double laid. I'll have to have a read of the pattern because I've actually never done a picot edge before, so that's good to learn something new, I guess. But yeah, so I think I'll definitely use this for the cuff and the toe, and then maybe the heel, but just depending a bit on how much yarn I have. And it has like a little bit of texture on it, so I'm hoping that this is not too busy, that you can still see some of the texture. And actually also just after the cuff, at the very start of the leg, has this sort of lateral braid type of thing, so that will be exciting as well, something else that I haven't done before. So yeah, I'm just going to wind this up now. Happy Saturday. It is the 6th of April and I'm finally assembling my rainbow jellyfish mobile. I think I have kind of probably bitten off a bit more than I can chew with this project. I need to have it finished by tomorrow because that's when the baby shower is, and I think it's just like, I guess with projects like this, like each individual component doesn't take very long to do, but because there are so many components, it kind of does end up taking forever. So I think in my head, I thought that like each jellyfish would take maybe an hour to make or something like that. But it's probably more like 4 to 5 hours once you like add in all the components and then like attaching the components together and stuff. But where I'm up to at the moment is I've got I've sewn in all the ends. I've put on all of the eyes and embroidered a little smiley face on each of them, and so I'm now just attaching the tentacles to the bottom panel, and then I have a long tail on this one because you use this tail to actually attach the panel to the head. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of do a bit of a production line that I'm going to attach all the tentacles first, and then I'm going to crochet the bottom to the head for all of them and just leave a really small gap, and then I'll stuff all of them, and then I'll crochet up the last few stitches and then weave in that final tail. So I'm extremely hopeful that I can have it finished today and not have to stay up until a really ridiculous hour to get it done by tomorrow morning. I have now finally finished assembling all of my little rainbow jellyfish. So I'm just going to get the component that I purchased to make them mobile and yeah, hang them on the mobile. So this is the finished product, my mobile. Very happy with how it turned out. It's very hard to take a photo, like my arm is kind of sore from holding it out so far, but yeah, that is the finished product and hopefully my friend and her new baby like it. Susie has decided to help me with my knitting, as you can see. She's dropped a couple of stitches, so I'm just going to fix this. All fixed. I think she only undid, like it was probably about 20 stitches, and some of them have dropped down about 4 or 5 rows, but it's all good. And I think it's, yeah, not super obvious, and hopefully any little inconsistencies in the tension will just kind of block out. So yes, all's well that ends well, and Susie is forgiven. Hi everyone, happy Sunday. It is the 13th of April and I'm just about to head into the city to check out the Australian Quilt Convention, which is being held in the Royal Exhibition Building in Carlton, so just a little bit north of the centre of Melbourne. The building is actually really, like, it's a historic building, so it was built in, I think, the late 1800s as part of that sort of like worldwide movement of like world fairs. So I think it was built in about 1880, and I actually used to go there mostly to do my university exams. So Melbourne Uni has all of their exams there, so I used to not really enjoy going there, but it's nice to be able to go there for something a little bit different. So I'm checking that out sort of in the morning, and then in the afternoon I actually have my monthly craft meetup at the local library, so that's what I'm going to do in the afternoon. So the project I will be bringing, I'm actually taking 2 projects. So this is my Sydney socks. This is a test knit that I'm doing for Kath, who's the Mindful Melbourne maker. So I've finished sock 1 and I've done the leg and the heel and started the foot on sock 2, but I think I don't know, I usually don't get like sort of pain from knitting, but maybe I've just been going a bit hard at these the last couple of days, that my wrist is a little bit sore. So I thought, in addition to that, like just in case my wrists are a bit sore today, I will bring this with me. So this is actually an embroidery kit that I got when I did at uni. They had like this free, just like, I guess, mental health and well-being session, an embroidery session, when you got this little embroidery kit, and I actually haven't done anything on it since the actual class. So I thought, yeah, just switch it up. A different movement would be good for, yeah, if I get a little bit of wrist pain from knitting, I can switch to doing some embroidery. So yeah, I'll try and film a little bit at the quilt convention. I'm not really, like, I think they do have like a sort of trade expo to like buy stuff, but that's not really why I'm going, because I don't quilt. It's more just for like, just to have a look at like, I think they have sort of competitions and stuff, so I'll be able to see all the different entries and stuff. And I mean, maybe if they have some fabric scraps packs or something like that, I might pick something up, but my intention is not to like purchase stuff. It's more just for yeah, just to see the sort of creativity of all the different entries. everyone. I have just come back from the Australasian Quilting Convention, so I thought I would show you what I got there, but also some more fabric that I recently acquired. So I think in one of our podcast episodes I talked about that Doops Designs was having a pre-order for their fabrics, and because I wasn't 100% confident about their bases, I actually didn't make an order. But then what they do after their pre-orders is they do like a remnant sale. So obviously, I mean, I'm not too sure how many meters of fabric is on the bolt, but they, based on their pre-order quantities, they order bolts of, or have bolts of fabric printed, and then whatever's left over they sell at a discounted price. So I did get a few remnants. All of them are just their quilting cotton, except for this one, which is their seersucker fabric. So that one was a two meter remnant of that one, but the rest of them were all just 1/2 meter remnants. So that one, this one, these ones, sort of cool patchwork fabric, and this is another sort of patchwork, like it has all different sections on it. This, another one of the, like the paint palette but with a different background, and then oops, these hearts. Yeah, so those were the ones that I got from Doops that arrived in the mail a few days ago, and then this is my sort of haul from the quilt convention. So I'll just tip everything out and go through it all. Goes to the side. So maybe I'll go through these ones first. So these were 2 little fat quarter bundles of Tilda fabric that I got from Alice in Fabricland. She used to have like a brick and mortar store in Kyneton, but now she's just online only. She was actually a really nice lady. I was chatting to her for a little bit. So yeah, they're from Tilda and just a mixture of fat quarters. Next one, there was actually quite a few places that had Japanese fabric. So this company is called East Meets West, and I just bought a few. They're pre-cuts. They're not quite a fat quarter, I think, but I'm not too sure if that is a standard like measurement in Japan, or yeah, I'm not too sure. But anyway, they're all 50 by 55 centimeters. And this last design with the postage stamps I really did like, so I got 2 of those, but the others I just got 1 of each. Then I bought 2 1-meter cuts of some Anna Maria Horner fabric. This one was from a place, this one is another one, they said they're online only, called These Clever Hands. This place called So Can I. Just 2 little sort of scrap packs. So I bought 3 1/2 meters of Liberty. It's not their Tana lawn, it's just a sort of like quilting cotton. And this place I think was called Cheltenham Sewing Centre or something like that. I'll look it up and put it in the description box. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but it will be on my receipt. This fabric, again, these are like pre-cuts, and I can't remember, I think it was similar dimensions, like 50 centimeters was the dimensions. So all these different designs. So this place, they're called the Patchwork Ninja, and they specialize in Japanese fabrics and notions. And actually the lady there was telling me that the couple that they source this fabric from in Japan, the wife has now passed away, so they're actually closing their business. So they were sort of saying, I mean, obviously I think this fabric would still be being produced in Japan, but I guess they've lost their contact for procuring it. So she said that they might not actually, like, they still have loads of it, but they may not be able to get it sort of in the long-term future. But I just bought a few different designs. And then the last thing I bought was a kit for some sort of a stitching kit from a place called Just Patchwork to make these little pears. I think would be a really cute Christmas decoration. She actually had a really nice Christmas wreath. It's sort of like, yeah, like I think applique and stitching on felt to make a Christmas wreath, but she was sold out of the kits. So but I think she said she'll probably make some more kits to put on her website. So she's based in New South Wales. But yeah, I just bought this little kit. I just thought that could be a cute little decoration. Even you could make like a little table centerpiece or something like that for Christmas with some nice embroidered pears. So yeah, that was my loot from the Australasian Quilt Convention and also the remnant sale from Doops Designs. Good evening, everyone. It is the Tuesday the 14th of April in the evening, and I've just finished a test knit that I was working on. This is for Kath, who's the Mindful Melbourne maker on Instagram, and these are her Sydney socks. So it's an all over textured sock, but it's just a very sort of subtle texture, so I think it can work well in either a variegated or a tonal yarn. And it also has a picot cuff, which I actually haven't done before, so that was fun. And then another technique which I've never done before, which is this lateral braid that goes around the edge of the cuff. And I actually thought this looks quite cool in the variegated yarn, because obviously you're using a lot more stitches for the lateral braid than just for the sort of stockinette sections. So the colour sort of distribution, you kind of see the full sort of spectrum of colours that are in the sock just in that lateral braid, which I thought was kind of cool. And then yeah, I used the contrast for the cuff, the heels. I did the shadow wrap heel and the toes as well. And this yarn is from Hodgepodge Skeins. Oops, sorry, I just covered the camera there. That she's a dyer based in the Blue Mountains. For Kath's patterns, I like to use, because all of her patterns are named after places in Australia, I try and use a dyer that's like from that place, but I didn't have any sock weight yarn that was from a Sydney based dyer, so the Blue Mountains was kind of the closest that I could get. So yeah, Kaz is Hodgepodge Skeins, and she's from the Blue Mountains, which I believe is about 45 minutes out of Sydney. And I probably should have said before I put them in the water, got them wet, the contrast colour is called Pink Funk, and then the main colour is called Lifesaver. So yeah, I'm just giving these a block. Morning everyone, it is Friday the 18th of March, so it is actually Good Friday if you celebrate Easter, which in Australia I guess we do get the Easter weekend as a public holiday, so I've got a couple of days off work. And this morning I've actually been working on this embroidery project that I started at a free embroidery workshop I went to at uni. So I did take it to my craft meetup the other day, last weekend, and I finished those 2 letters, and this morning I've just been working on filling in the wing here. It is fairly slow going, but I'm slowly, I think, getting the hang of it. I found with these letters I was first kind of like trying to, I guess, like go into the fabric and then come out right next to it and then go back, but what I realized is actually easier to do is you basically just wrap the fabric, so you kind of come out here, go in here, and then come out back at the top. So it ends up almost being like double-sided, but I think that is giving me a better result. This is another project I want to spend a fair bit of time on over this long weekend. This is my Sandro pullover. I was knitting it as a test knit, and I unfortunately didn't finish the test by the deadline, and I think I've not worked on it for quite a while, so I really do want to put in, because I'm sort of over halfway there. Like the body does probably need another maybe 10 to 15 centimeters or so, but I've knit the first sleeve. I've finished doing all the decreases and I tried it on, and it's actually sitting sort of just a few centimeters above my wrist. So I think what I want to do now is actually knit the other sleeve to the same
like stage, and then actually wet block the project to see how much more length I need to add, because I think that I probably won't actually need to knit much more on the sleeves before I can start the ribbing. And the body, yeah, will need another few centimeters, but I do want to see how much it grows with blocking before I decide on the final length. I kind of regret leaving this for quite a while, because it's taken me a few sort of reading the pattern and sort of looking at my knitting for about 20 minutes to kind of work out like what all these, like I put all these stitch markers in for different things. Some of them are the decreases and some of the cable rows, but then also there's some short rows at the top of the sleeve. So yeah, it wasn't the easiest thing after all this time, and I sort of keep saying I should be better at taking more comprehensive notes, but I still not very good at it. I often just write a little note on my phone, but yeah, I think this year I would like to have like a notebook or something to write these things down in as I'm doing them, so it's not so hard to pick things up after a break. The other thing that I want to fix is, so in the pattern it's recommended that you knit the folded neckband down, but I just prefer to sew them down. But I think because of that I should have actually done one less row on the collar on this side, because the bind off kind of adds a row, so the purl ridge is kind of facing outwards. So I think I want to actually undo how I've sewed the collar down and just tink back one row and then bind it off again and sew it back down. So that will be a bit annoying, but I think I will be much happier with the finish if I do that as well. And I mean, that shouldn't take too long. It's just undo the sewing, unpick that, and then also unpick the bind off and one row of knitting, and then bind off again and then sew it down again, which yeah, I guess I should have, and that's not a criticism of the pattern, because I chose to deviate from the instructions in the pattern, and I should have realized that if I wanted to like bind off and then sew it down, that I should knit one row less, but yeah, that's okay. So yeah, I'm hoping this weekend to get a fair bit done. I think the thing that's the barrier for me is the one thing that I really don't like doing is picking up stitches. Like I think I often find that if I pick up stitches at the rate that's recommended in the pattern, I don't get the number that's recommended in the pattern, and so I often have to try to pick up the stitches like multiple times to get it right. So I think that I sometimes just find that a bit frustrating. So I'm very hopeful, and I guess yeah, sometimes I worry about if I match the second sleeve to the first sleeve and things like that, but hopefully it will not give me too much of a headache. And yeah, I think once I've actually picked up the stitches, it should go fairly quickly.
Good morning everyone, it is Monday the 21st of April and I'm in the city just outside the National Gallery of Victoria. I'm here to see the Yayoi Kusama exhibition. It is actually the last day of the exhibition today, so I've booked an 8 AM ticket. Hopefully if I go in nice and early, shouldn't be too bad, but I think it will be pretty packed today being the last day of the exhibition, and it's a public holiday in Melbourne today as well, so let's go.
happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday the 29th of April. I haven't checked in for a while now, I think, but Pia is back from her holiday in Japan, so I'm back at home now. So kind of missing Susie and Juliet, her two little greyhounds, my fur nieces that I was looking after while she was away, but also good to be back home. And I've decided to actually pick up, this is my broom sweater by Andrea Mowry, and I mentioned it in our dream weaving section of our last podcast, that I wanted to, once I finished off my Sandro pullover, which is the all over cable sweater that I'm knitting, I wanted to pick this up because it was a sort of a sweater whip that I didn't finish in time to wear it for winter last year, but it didn't have very far to go before it would be finished. And so I haven't finished the Sandro pullover yet, but when I got back home, I thought, oh, I'll just get it out and see, because it's been quite a few months since I've worked on it, just see, where am I up to. And so when I tried it on, I realized I actually only needed to knit maybe 3 or 4 centimeters on the body before I started the ribbing, and the sleeves are actually ready for the ribbing straight away. So I thought, well, I can have this probably finished within a couple of days then, whereas the Sandro I think might take me a week or two to finish. So I sort of thought, and I mean, this is probably a bit of a silly reason, but so because I'm trying to do this, sort of use 200 grams for every 100 grams that I purchase, I did have to get, oops, I've just dropped a stitch. I did have to buy some more of the Sheppius Katona that I was using to make the jellyfish mobile because I ran out of some of the colours. So I actually now have, I guess, like within that system of using 200 grams to be able to buy 100 grams, I do have a little debt of yarn. And so I kind of actually would like to have that debt settled. I mean, obviously it's a bit silly, like it's my rules, my system kind of, it's nothing, it's just self-imposed, but I kind of want to have that settled before the end of April. And I think realistically this is probably the main whip that I have at the moment that could be finished. Well, I mean, April only has 30 days, so I'd have to be finished it tomorrow. So I'm probably about halfway through the ribbing on the body, and then just got the ribbing to do on the sleeves. But I think, because it's a DK weight, and it's just a few centimeters of ribbing, I think that it probably is feasible to have this one knocked over by the end of April. Obviously I won't have blocked it and everything by then, but once I've sort of bound it off, I think I will consider that it has been finished. So the yarn I'm using for this is from Woolen Works, and it's her DK Suri base, which I think is similar to, now I've forgotten who makes this. It's some I think it's a US based dye. They have a base called the Odang DK, which is a Suri alpaca, and I think Chloe's DK Suri base has sort of the same composition, and that was actually the Odang was what the broom sweater was designed using. So I kind of wanted to use the same base. So this is her, I think she just calls it her DK Suri base. I'll see if I can hold it up. I'm kind of resting the camera in my t-shirt, so hopefully it doesn't move too much. But so this is her DK Suri base, and obviously you can't feel it, but it is incredibly soft. So I mean, it is a bit trickier to knit with. You probably did see, like, sometimes you do catch the little bits of fluff instead of the silk core, because I think it's like 90% Suri alpaca and 10% silk. So there is like a very fine silk core, but so on that side of things, it's a bit more challenging, but it also is a very enjoyable experience to knit with, just holding the fabric, because it is really so soft. And this is her fur coat colorway, which was from her Barbie collection. So it's sort of like a neutral with these grey. On the sort of normal superwash bases, it was sort of like a dark grey and black speckles, but obviously on the fluff base, they're not sort of speckles, it's more just I guess, a mottled kind of colour. So yes, hopefully I will be able to finish this by tomorrow. And I'm watching at the moment Susan, who is Wild Cottage Knitting and Crochet from Ireland. She at the moment is helping out on a friend's farm because the sheep are lambing at the moment. So she is helping on her friend's farm, and yeah, it's very lovely to see all the footage of the baby lambs and also from the Irish countryside as well.
Hi everyone, it is the end of April. It's actually the last day of April today, and so I thought I would close out this month's video by showing you the bits and pieces that Pia brought back for me from Japan. So she was very generous and she's bought me quite a few nice things, so I'll kind of show them to you one at a time. So she went to a place in Tokyo called Napori Fabric Town, which is I guess like a textile district, and one thing that they had there, which I guess is a bit unique, that at least I haven't seen this in Australia anywhere, is this pre-quilted fabric. So it has just like a plain on one side and then a pattern on the other side. So she got me this piece here, that has little strawberries on it, and then one more piece. This one she actually didn't get at Napori Fabric Town. She got in I actually am not too sure where she got it, but it was not in Tokyo, and this is some hungry caterpillar fabric. So I think that's all the fabric, and then so I'll show you the other things. So maybe not quite as crafty, but I just thought I would still share them. So this is a little hand towel with some yuzu on it, because I really like yuzu, which is a Japanese citrus fruit. I actually have a yuzu tree in my garden. This cute little reusable shopping bag. Two face cloths, oh no, three, sorry. So two of them were from her visit to the Studio Ghibli theme park. I think she went to the theme park and the museum. So this is a Totoro face cloth, and the other one, this one here, another little face towel. They're really soft cotton. And then Miffy, I really love Miffy. Miffy is not Japanese, it's a Dutch cartoon, but Miffy is very popular in Japan. So she got me this Miffy face cloth. What else? This little Hello Kitty figurine, which she bought one for herself as well that has pink hair. So we've got little matching figurines. I think it does have like a key ring attachment on it. These little magnets are from a town, and I can't remember the name of the town, but basically their entire economy is based on the Satsuma orange. So yeah, I think it's like their town mascot is like this little bear type thing that has an orange, yeah, its head is like an orange and its ears are little leaves. Very cute. So these are, sorry, I should say these are some magnets. So, four more things. This, I guess, is not specifically Japanese, but she just found it in a stationery shop. It's like it's a postcard, but it's actually made of wood, with Van Gogh's irises, and it comes with a little sort of holder thing, so you can kind of stand it up on a shelf. I don't know if they're really designed to be sent as postcards. Like, I guess you could send it as a postcard. Then a mug. So this was also from the Studio Ghibli theme park. I think she said was where she bought that one. A Totoro mug. So she gave it to me all in this tote bag that she is Studio Ghibli, but it is actually Liberty fabric. So I guess it's a collaboration between Studio Ghibli and Liberty. Very beautiful, sort of like cottage garden on that tote bag. And then she bought a couple of bits and pieces of stationery as well. Sorry for the crinkling. So actually, I guess this is not really stationery. So one thing that is will seem to be quite popular in a lot of the, in the garment district and in some sort of craft shops is these little iron-on patches. So she got me a whole bunch, some Miffy ones, some sunflowers, this one that says good vibes, and these ones that are sort of like folk art-esque, some more kind of folk art. Oh, another one. And then she also got me these patches, again with the sort of like folk art design, but like spelling my name, A-N-N-A. There we go. So I was thinking, I don't know if I might see if I can thrift something like a denim jacket or something to put some of these patches on, I guess. And then, oh, last one, some little ladybird and a 4-leaf clover. And then from the same place that she bought me that reusable shopping bag, this happiness is happening, and just like a love heart sticker. So yeah, those were all the things that Pia bought me in Japan. So lots of really nice things, and lots of things for me to craft with as well. Yeah, particularly in terms of the fabric. So I think I'll probably end this vlog here. I did actually bind off for my broom sweater this evening, but I've still got to weave in all the ends and stuff, so I think I will block it and try it on and stuff like that in maybe in one of my videos for May. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed all of my little crafty bits and pieces for the month of April. I have filmed a knit and chat with Pia as well, so she's showing some more of the things that she bought in Japan, and talking a little bit about, I guess, her trip and all the sort of crafty things she did there, because she did do a fair few crafty activities. So hopefully I will edit that one soon as well, and that will be up on our channel as well. If you would like to see more videos of this sort of crafty moments vlogs, then please feel free to subscribe to the channel. And I always like to hear in the comments what project you were working on while you were watching. But that, yeah, I think is all for this month's vlog. I really hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you next time, and until then I'll wish you happy stitching. Bye.